زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another episode of the series Marriage and Divorce, where we will continue to talk about the right qualities to look for when looking for a husband. With me here is our Sheikh Haitham Al Haddad from the UK, who is a prominent Islamic scholar and who works as part of the Islamic Sharia Council of Britain. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We promised the audience that we would continue the discussion about the quality of responsibility when finding a husband.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Yes, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Kullukum ra'in, all of you are shepherds. And every one of you is responsible for his flock. Now, then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that, Ar-rajulu ra'in fi baytihi. The man is responsible for the flock, the household, the members of the family, the wife, the children, and he will be questioned about them. And the wife has her own responsibility as well. The Prophet ﷺ said, وَالْمَرْأَةُ رَاعِيَةٌ فِي بَيْتِ زَوْجِهَا. He added the house to her husband because she is responsible to look after the properties of her husband and the children as well. We were saying that the man acts like a leader and the wife acts like a manager. The wife and women in general, they like to act upon a decision that has been taken by the man. Wallahi, I swear by Allah, although I'm trying to avoid it, that many women become distanced from their husbands because they find that their husbands are irresponsible men.
And they feel like they're not being looked after.
And they feel that they are not looked after. They feel the burden of taking decisions for the family. Yeah? They are not talking about physical burden. No. Some women, some wives, they do come and they think that it is the physical burden that they have been burdened with by their husbands. But it is not the case. If you analyze the situation, it is not the physical burden. Wives can do so many things. Women, mashallah, can do so many things. Sometimes we men cannot do. It's true that men physically are strong. But in terms of looking after so many things together, yes, multitasking, in terms of minor things together, women are more qualified than us. Similarly, okay, there are some activities that women are physically more fit to do them. Wallahi, I look at my wife when she is standing in the kitchen. Yeah? She stands there for 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes, cleaning, cooking, preparing for the children, and doing this happily.
Every day.
Every day. I can't do this. Now, when we present this to the audience, they say, well, this is torture. Why do you consider this as a torture? While if you ask her to work as a waste man or waste woman, a cleaner in the street, this is not torture. Now, she is doing some work where? In her
home.
For
her family.
For her family. Yeah? For the husband, the children. She likes to do this. etc., etc. Who is her manager? It is the husband. Who are the beneficiaries? The husband and the family. This kind of work is neglected. This kind of work is neglected, is belittled. While if she says, no, I don't want to cook, yeah? Or if she says, I don't want to cook in my house for my family, I want to cook outside my house.
For someone else.
For someone else, the same, cooking. And not only stand for 3 hours in the kitchen, in her own kitchen, yeah, in her own time, in her own freedom, yeah, and her manager is her own lovely husband. No, she wants to stand up in another kitchen, and for longer hours, she wants to serve hundreds of people, and that job is respected, but this job is not respected.
Why do you think this is? Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. I'm presenting this to our audience now, and I'm asking them, why is this the case? Take another example. If she cleans her house, this is belittled. They looked down to this kind of job. Is that true or not?
True.
But if she cleans the street, yeah?
She's working.
She's working. She's a career woman. Subhanallah al-Azim.
Maybe another example would be, for example, child minding. The same.
Another example, yeah. If she looks after her children in her own environment, in her own comfortable place, this job is belittled. But if she works as a child minder for other people, and she might be sexually harassed or even physically harassed or abused, yeah, because she's not working in her own comfortable zone, yeah, then that is a career, that is a good job. Why is this?
Strange.
Why is this? Now, some sisters say, yeah, because she's receiving money. Okay, your husband can give you money. In fact, he's giving you money. Why? Because he's responsible for what? Your maintenance. He's responsible for your maintenance. And who are the beneficiaries? Your own children. Do you want your own children to be looked after by another woman?
And if they're neglected now, it will have consequences for the future.
Yes, as we said, even it will have some financial consequences.
Yes.
So that's why what we are saying is women, they can execute decisions by their husbands, and as I said, many husbands neglect this role as in charge of the household. Their wives do not like this, and they feel a burden, and they want to come out of this marriage. So that's why one key element of a successful marriage is the man doing his role as a husband, and the woman is carrying out her own role as what? As a wife. And in particular, men should be able and should manifest that they are able to take decisions, not only to take decisions, to take correct decisions. When wives feel that their men are not protective men, not necessarily authoritative men, no, men with authority and mainly protection. He's a shield. Yeah, he's a shield. They like this kind of man because now there is a level of burden that has been lifted from their shoulders or away from their shoulders.
So when we see these days the way equality is described, we could actually say almost equality is oppression.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Because, see, can you treat two different persons, yeah, in the same way? I don't want to say equally, okay? Because even the word equality, it should be approached from different angles, yeah? Can you treat two different persons, yeah, in the same way? I always give the following example. I have a son who's, okay, 20, And I have another son who is 13. Under the notion of equality, can I ask them to have a play fight?
No.
Yeah? Of course not. This will be, as you said, oppression to who?
Unfair to the little one.
Unfair to the little one. Okay, forget about this. I have my son and my daughter. Yeah? Can they have a play fight?
No.
It is unfair.
On the daughter.
On the daughter. So if I differentiate between my daughter, or I distinguished between my daughter and my son, who said that this is discrimination against my daughter? Why don't we consider it as a discrimination against my son? See, because most of Western countries suffered from discrimination, real discrimination against females. You know, in Britain, for example, females were not allowed to vote except after the suffragette. And they secured the right to vote in 1918?
It's relatively recent.
Yeah, okay. Or 1918 was the first stage of voting that was given to some women, not all women. Yeah? So they struggled a lot. So they see any kind of distinction between men and women, they see it from their historical background, their own historical background. They don't see it from our understanding of fair treatment for both men and women.
Inshallah. I think that's a good time for us to stop, have a little break, and we'll come back, inshallah, to talk about the compatibility issue. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to this interesting discussion where we shall continue to talk about the issue of responsibility when finding a husband. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Before we move on, is there anything else we want to mention quickly about the issue of
responsibility?
Exactly.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. See, as we said about wives, good wives, treating their husbands, yeah, looking after their husbands, and how this will affect their children, we say the same thing about husbands who are fathers now, and when they act in a very responsible way, when they show a level of responsibility towards the family. When the father is acting like this, he is passing this knowledge to his sons. Okay? And normally, the men who show irresponsible attitude towards life in general, they have picked this from their fathers. And this confirms the importance of what? The importance of a stable family, yeah? The danger of broken families, the danger of lacking role models, whether from the mother's side or from the father's side. Okay? Now, again, in terms of responsibility, as we said that the man or the husband should demonstrate a level of responsibility in terms of taking decisions in major issues regarding the family. That's why Sharia gave the man certain rights. Yeah? Those rights are in reality a reflection of his responsibility.
So it's like a job description.
A job description. Wallahi, this is a very good way of explaining it. See, the marriage from an Islamic perspective is a sacred relationship, and that relationship is formalized in a contract. This contract is a different kind of contract. It's a contract whereby the most sacred issue, which is the sexuality of the person, yeah, is given to the other person. Yeah, this is one key issue. Moreover, that contract leads to some other responsibilities. as a job. That contract serves as a job. Me as a husband, I become a person who's working for my wife according to this contract, and I have to financially support her. I should take certain responsibilities. This is part of the contract. Same thing she should do. Okay? And this should be clear to both of us. This is out of what? The marriage contract. And hence, if the man is not fulfilling his responsibilities, the other side of the contract, which is the wife, has the right to ask for divorce. Obviously, she is encouraged to have sabr, etc., but if she feels that the man is irresponsible, is not fulfilling his job, his role, then she has the right of what? Of divorce. Okay? The responsibility, as we said, the financial responsibility, the decision-making responsibility, the physical responsibility, the security, even security. My dear brothers and sisters, please do understand this. The wife likes to feel that she is secure next to her husband. Secure. Yeah? Many women run away from their husbands because they feel that their husbands are not men enough. The manhood is deficient, is incomplete. As some men run away from their wives when they see their wives do not have enough feminine qualities. Okay? And as I always make it as a joke, if a husband is sleeping, yeah, on the bed and his wife is next to him and there is a thief, a burglar, downstairs or trying to, yeah, get into the house, who is responsible to go and to see? Is it the wife or the husband?
The husband.
The husband. Now, if the husband is a coward person, yeah, will the wife appreciate this? She will never appreciate this because she doesn't feel secure next to her husband. This is a psychological issue. Yeah? So, as we said, taking decisions, financial responsibility, and even in terms of security. The more the wife feels secure next to her husband, the more she loves her husband, she loves to stay with her husband, she loves to continue with her husband, and moreover, she likes to sacrifice for her husband. And her husband will act as a role model for her and for the children. So this is the issue of responsibility.
SubhanAllah. And do you find that in your experience, especially in the West, is this something that we need to learn more?
Oh, wallahi, you reminded me of something interesting. You know this issue of equality, yeah? It works negatively from both sides. How? When men feel that they are not responsible for their wives because they feel that their wives are equal to them, then the men, yeah, will not be in charge or will not take their responsibilities in terms of key decisions in the family, and naturally their wives will not be happy with this, and as a result of this they will have problems. And sometimes women, when they come to us complaining about their husbands, they might not be able to identify the source of the problem, and the source of the problem is men are what? Irresponsible.
SubhanAllah.
Okay? And why men were irresponsible? Why? Because they were taught in the school, in the media, they were nourished by the environment that men and women are equal.
In every way.
They are equal from all angles. So then he will say that, well, why do I need to take the burden? She should take the burden with me.
Do it 50-50.
Do it 50-50. And as a result of this, this is another issue, his expectations from her will be raised.
Right.
And he will not be a forgiving person because you will forgive your children when you see that they are in need of you, and you are the man.
You are in charge of them.
You are in charge of them. So psychologically, you will forgive them. Same thing when myself as a husband, and I see that I am responsible for my wife, and my wife makes some mistakes or she have some shortcomings, I accept it. I accept it because I am the leader. Yeah, I'm the big man. I do accept it. I am the responsible person. I am in charge. Okay? The manager normally covers his employees, the people who work for him, under him. So that should be the attitude of the husband. If the husband fails to demonstrate this because he feels that the wife is equal to him, then the wife will not like it, and eventually this will lead to so many problems. And inshallah, when we talk about how to maintain a healthy marriage, yeah, we will talk about this and we will clarify it inshallah more.
Inshallah. It seems that this point is very important as well, because if it's not adhered to, it will cause a lot of negative knock-on effects.
Oh yes, 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 definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. You know, this issue of responsibility leads us to the discussion related to the compatibility. I don't know whether we have time to discuss the issue of compatibility, but we can introduce the issue of compatibility. See, when we talk about compatibility, we are talking about a person is complementing another person. Yeah? A person is complementing another person. Now, in order to complement the other person, you have to, complementing is like DNA. They fit together perfectly. Yeah? Okay? But if they don't fit together, then there will be a problem in terms of compatibility. Okay? This is what we are talking about. However, we have to say that in terms of compatibility, we have two extremes. One side that says they have to be compatible from all angles.
100%.
100%. And on the other side, this view that neglects compatibility completely, and they don't consider it at all. This is wrong, and this is wrong.
Two extremes.
Two extremes. There are certain things that compatibility has to be considered, has to be taken into perspective in terms of marriage, and there are things that might not be really that important and that will not affect the marriage. We need to talk about financial compatibility. We need to talk about cultural compatibility. We need to talk about age as well.
This is a big topic these days.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We need to talk about maybe educational background and compatibility in terms of education. Which one you want us to start with?
If it was my choice, Sheikh, we'll have all of them. But I think we'll have to delay them for the next episode, because this is the end of this episode, inshallah.
Subhanallah.
But it's good. It's a very brief, short introduction. So please join us next time for the more lengthy discussion about the compatibility when it comes to marriage. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك There is joy, there is happiness in this union, let there always be bliss. Allah will bless your home with light, your heart with never-ending delight. Two worlds today have now become one. The road ahead is as bright as the sun. Oh Allah, keep this marriage so strong. In your hands does the future belong.